What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tom Gronkowski Show. This is episode 14, brought to you by the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. We are here to break down Week 11, and of course, this show is called the Tom Gronkowski Show because we follow the move of Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, their move from the B-Town to the Bay. Brought to you again by Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island, for the fans and by the fans. So we got some exciting content coming to you tonight. I appreciate everybody watching, whether you be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, YouTube, wherever you at. We appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter. My name is Ruth the Truth, Ruth Kakias, and I'm here to talk about some NFL. Now, we are going into Week 12, but tonight we're going to be talking about the Week 11 upset with Tampa Bay facing the Los Angeles Rams on a primetime Sunday night game and them coming up short. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, out of the last 22 primetime games, they are 5-16 and 1. So they've only won 5 primetime games in the last 22 matchups. Now, it seems like we're in a little bit of a rut when it comes to the primetime limelight. So that's a little bit disturbing when it's kind of like, all right, we have the GOAT, we have the best to ever do it, and he's unable to get it done when it counts the most. So without further ado, I will be bringing my lovely host, Coach Jay, into the mix to talk about some Bucs football. Coach, welcome to the show. Tell me about your week. How was your weekend? You doing okay?
I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in there. I know that you've had a lot of things going on. I just want to know that you're in my thoughts and in my prayers, and I'm so glad that with everything you have going on, you're still here to make it on the Tom Gronkowski Show because you are committed and you are ready, and I really appreciate you being here. Happy Thanksgiving to all the viewers out there. Happy Thanksgiving. Tomorrow is Turkey Day and
football day.
Yeah, and football day, and unfortunately, we had to postpone our Thursday night matchup with the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers refacing the Baltimore Ravens. They were going to be traveling to Pittsburgh for their second matchup with the Steelers this season, and unfortunately, that has been postponed to the following Sunday because of COVID. Now, this is something that we knew was going to happen just because, the NFL, without them being in the bubble scenario, it was just bound to happen that COVID was going to have its way with the league, and but we're happy that they're able to keep trucking, and Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, is still able to keep the season rolling, which we are all so thankful for. But Coach, I want to know, what are you thankful for from like a football lens standpoint? Obviously, you're thankful for your family and your loved ones, but when it comes to football, what are you thankful for of the 2020 season?
I'm thankful for that we're actually seeing games. And this year, it's been teams they're making the division neck and neck. They're making it very exciting, very interesting toward the end of the season if we be able to finish. I'm just happy that we was able to hear the whistles blow.
Right.
Smell the grass.
Right, because that was something that was worrying me for a little while, I was just like, man, is the NFL season going to happen? But, I mean, they were able to pull through, and it's just a testimony of how much power this league has because they are spending billions of dollars, not millions. I said billions of dollars to be testing these players and coaching staff and everybody that's in the facility. They're testing on a daily basis. They're running extra, they're doing extra things to keep the facilities clean, and that's all is just obviously costing them money. But then at the same time, we're not bringing in the same revenue. I mean, it's tough to be making the same amount of dollars when you're only having a 25% capacity in your stadiums. I mean, that's definitely taken a toll on the NFL's pockets. But to continue the season, I'm impressed. I'm happy with it, and I'm definitely thankful for it. So let's move on. Let's talk about the Week 11 matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jared Goff, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and the Rams came to Tampa. Now, this was a game that it was heavily anticipated because after getting blown out by the New Orleans Saints and then rallying back to win against the Panthers, and then being at home and tanking the way they did. Give me your overall perspective of the performance of Tom Brady in Week 11.
He was like, he wasn't. I mean, statistic wise, he had, let's see, he's like he had 28 attempts out of 40 something, 28 completions out of 40 something. So I would say he was mediocre to me. If you want me to be just straight up honest, I'm just gonna be honest and just say it. He sucked that game. And usually I say, hey, offensive line, which I'm gonna still say it, yeah, offensive line, y'all need to do better. But as far as like Tom himself, Tom out there throwing the ball to the safety and threw 2 interceptions. Tom is 1-3 this year in prime time. Like, he's 5 for 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions now. Tom, he don't make those mistakes when he's with Belichick. I'm not downing Aaron's, but I'm just saying you don't make those mistakes. Like, better. It's a cover 2 they basically gave you. That the safety is those safeties are looking in the middle of the field. Somebody gonna come down if they see it. Ewan threw the same route, and the guy just took it. He threw it right in his lap. So honestly, to me, Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady. I can't just blame it on the offensive line, and the defense ain't helping. So I can't blame. Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, even though it was only recorded that he got sacked one time,
right?
He was feeling the pressure throughout the whole entire game. The offensive line was unable to stop Aaron Donald when it came to his pass rushing abilities, and that was the disappointing part. Because how do you go from one game? It just seems too much inconsistency when it comes to our offensive line, and obviously we know that Aaron Donald is an entity of his own. And I mean, we were a triple team in the guy, and we were still unable to completely shut him down. So even though Tom Brady only got sacked once, he felt the pressure the whole entire game. And there was a lot of times where he found himself on his back because even though he didn't get sacked and he was able to get rid of the ball just in time, he was still pushed to the ground. And at 43 years old, you can only take so much hurt. So I feel like towards the third and fourth quarter of this game, Tom Brady just looked defeated. Honestly, just looked defeated, and it was disappointing to see him that way. So
very disappointing.
And I don't know if this is a big. I'm going to ask you, Coach. Is this a big deal or no big deal that this is the second time that Tom Brady is on record as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers not shaking the hand of the opposing quarterback when he loses? The first time he did it, the first time he did that this season when he walked off the field was after the disappointing loss in Thursday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. And I thought maybe, there's some underlying animosity between him and Nick Foles after losing the Super Bowl to him, after him being the second string quarterback, running the Philly special on him, all this jazz. But then it happens again with Jared Goff. And you see the look on Jared Goff that he was kind of like beside himself in the middle of the field. I could tell that he was looking for Brady. And Brady was nowhere to be found, and he didn't want to shake his hand. So, Coach, is that a big deal or no big deal that the GOAT of the NFL is behaving this way?
That's a big deal for anybody if you don't want to shake hands, but it's for sure a big deal with Tom Brady. You're supposed to be a role model and all that, and you're showing kids that if they lose the game, then you're going to just say, don't shake hands. This ain't the 80s. You're not the Pistons. Come on now. This ain't the early 90s neither. You shake hands. That's what you do. You win the game, you shake hands. You lose the game, you still shake hands. It's sportsmanship. And for Tom Brady to not show sportsmanship, that is ridiculous because you're supposed to be one of the highest of highest of highest. If Peyton Manning, he lost to you so many times and he's still shaking hand, come over to have a conversation with you. You come on now. You got to shake hands, man. You can't be like they're supposed to be setting an example. Your face is on everything, especially since you have made the big move. He has to. You have to shake hands. And as a coach, if that other coach is not telling his guy to shake hands, then that is a problem. I don't care if you Tom Brady or not. Show sportsmanship. Period.
For real, you're a grown man. You're 43 years old. You've been in the league for 20 years. This isn't your first rodeo. This isn't your first loss. I mean, yeah, it was disappointing because you could have won that game 24-27. All you needed to do was get into to field goal range and let Ryan Suckup finish the job. So
scared.
I don't know if it's maybe more like he's disappointed in himself and maybe he's embarrassed with the way that he performed, and that's why he walks off the field the way he does.
Doesn't matter.
There's no excuse for it. Tom Brady, you know better. We all love you. We all look up to you. We cherish what you've done in the NFL. We cherish what you've done in this, the whole league itself. But you got to show good sportsmanship whether you win or lose. That's very important. That's been installed into athletes at a very young age. I mean, playing sports growing up, that's why they call me Root the Truth. I don't only analyze and host sports shows, but I play sports. That's a part of my MO. I started doing the whole and analyzing gigs after I realized that I wasn't going to be able to make it in the pros because I have terrible knees. And I'm a little too short to play for the WNBA. But don't get me wrong. If they were to decide to make like a WNBA team in the state of Florida, you best believe I'm training my ass off and I'm trying to
Well, yeah.
the record. But
you go.
Sportsmanship has been installed in us young athletes from a very young age. I mean, as a coach, I know that you've probably been in a lot of situations where you've seen your players get down in the dumps because of a mistake they may have played or just a game. So how do you react to your players when they can get a little bit salty after games?
I just tell them the truth, to be honest. Like, all right, fellas, hey, go over there, line up on the 50, get ready to shake hands. Say good game, shake hands. That's it. We don't need no extra. We don't need to be getting in no fight, because for the simple fact that you shouldn't be fighting nobody, you lost. If you got all that energy, then what would happen when I needed you on this play? Why are we walking off the field as losers? Period. I just tell them the truth.
Root the truth.
So
we're going to be taking our first commercial break, but please stick with us because when we come back, we are going to dissect what the Rams did right. Mm-hmm. Now, Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff was PK Todd Gurley. The running back was a huge threat to us throughout this matchup, and we will break down what the defense messed up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to lead Jared Goff and Rams for their win. We'll be right back. Check out Play Like a Girl. Play Like Your Girl, Monday night. Make sure to check out that live podcast. If you do not catch it live on Monday night, no worries. Go to the Sports Fanbase Network, sfbnri.com, to check out all the great podcasts. We are growing on a monthly basis. It's crazy to think that we went from 2 podcasts like 6 months ago to like 12 to 13.
Oh, yeah.
So we are making moves with the Sports Fanbase Network for the fans and by the fans. So make sure to check us out. Coach Cooper Kupp was picking apart the secondary, was beating the defensive lineman off the line of scrimmage, was just completely tearing us up.
Mm-hmm. I've been saying
Do you have an answer for where the Bucs went wrong when it specifically came to Cooper Kupp and his ability to get the ball in his hands? And not only get the ball in his hands, but yards after the catch is a very important stat when it comes to the NFL because, yeah, you can catch balls all day, but how far can you take it? And Cooper Kupp was on display and was guns blazing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coach, what did you see wrong with Tampa Bay's defense, who we thought was one of the most elite in the NFL?
I mean, yeah, we've been thinking that. But remember, I've been saying, if them defensive backs don't stop, it started when they went against the Raiders. And the Raiders exploited them in that same spot. It's the same spots that the Raiders them exploited them in. Mm-hmm. And every week I've been saying it like, yeah, hey, they doing this, and this. Hey, good job. But hey, still defensive backs, y'all gonna have to do this. You're giving up too many yards. Now they're just getting exploited. I see guys getting their ankles broke. You in the NFL. What are you doing? Why are you not bending down, squatting, and chopping your feet, reacting? I don't get that. They ain't got lazy tackling. They just figure that they got that Saints syndrome. They figure they're gonna show up and be like, oh, we got Tom Brady, we the Bucs, we the new Bucs. So y'all just gonna let us win. No. You have Tom Brady. It gives you a bigger target on your back.
Absolutely.
Most people in the NFL, they're nice to Tom, but they don't like Tom. Tom has been beating them for a whole decade.
Right. And it was a testimony to Tom Brady and him knowing his defense. I mean, Levante David, he rated about how Levante David was an underrated defensive player, and that he was, glad to finally be a part of Levante David's team since he faced him so many times in the NFL, and he knew that he was always such a threat. So, I mean, Tom Brady likes to rate about our defense, but our defense just wasn't as solid as we expected on Sunday Night Football. Now, I don't know what the problem is, whether it's, the young players and just the limelight and them not expecting, or I'm not really sure. What do you think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to do to overcome the statistic of not being able to win these primetime games?
They need to get that eye of the tiger going again, because they don't act hungry no more.
Right.
At the beginning of the season, after the Saints beat them, they was on a roll, and they loved proving people wrong.
Right.
And they was doing all the little things that make a big difference. They was doing it. They was doing all those little things. Like, they was handling business. The tackling hasn't been there all year. I've been saying it. Got guys want to come in with their shoulders. I even seen a couple guys miss. They're lunging and just try to jump and grab the guy. In the words of Vince Lombardi, that is not tackling. We're not tackling out here. We're grabbing. And they need to get that fixed. But they need to get that eye of the tiger back in them and be hungry again. The season is not over. And you're second place. You're not first no more when it comes to the Saints. I think you need to get going. You can't afford to be losing, because if the Saints don't win their game now, they're getting away from you even more.
Right. I mean, it was huge relief to find out that, I mean, you never want to see players hurt, but when we found out that Drew Brees was going to be out for a substantial amount of time, this was our chance to get some wins under our belt so we can have an advantage against our division rivals. And with Taysom Hill taking the reins, everybody expected the Saints to falter, and it doesn't seem like they have. I mean, we expected them to put Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback, but they surprised the world and had their tight end / running back / special teams player, Taysom Hill, take the reins and start as their starting quarterback, which was his first time starting since he was at BYU.
Dang.
So,
it's all right.
Yeah,
you know what to do.
Starting as the starting quarterback since he played for BYU. So it was definitely impressive for him to come out, rush for 2 touchdowns, throw for another touchdown. He had over 200 yards throwing, and I mean, he was impressive. So it obviously seems that the New Orleans Saints are prepared for when Drew Brees is not there. I mean, we saw it last year with them putting Teddy Bridgewater in and him going 5-0.
Yeah.
It seems like it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball, because there's already so many other pieces in the Saints defense, offense. They're a fully rounded team.
They have a system. They have a system that they follow. Sean Payton, he says, this is my system. This is what I run. This is what we do here. I don't care. They had Dez Bryant over there. He didn't get in trouble for his mouth.
Aaron Brown or Antonio Brown?
No, Dez Bryant. They used to play for the Cowboys.
Yeah. What about him?
They had him over there at the Saints at one point.
Oh yeah, when he tore his Achilles. Yeah.
He didn't run his mouth. He just got hurt. There's a system there. When he was with the Cowboy, he kept running his mouth. Mm-hmm. He got with Sean Payton. Hey, this is what we do. This is how we do things here. Hey, yes, sir. He ain't say nothing. I mean, it's just a system. That's why I'm saying, like, Tom, he disappointed me, because you're making mistakes that I know you wouldn't do with Bill Belichick. I just don't. I think your head is getting a little bit too big. I need you to just manage the game. Yeah. I don't need you to be out there trying to be a gunslinger. Shouts out to Brett Favre. That's what he do.
Yes, and if you haven't read that book, Gunslinger, by Jeff Pearlman, who is one of the most talented authors ever. He has a lot of great books out there, but Gunslinger is one of my favorites. So we're going to take another quick commercial break, but when we come back, we will continue to dissect Tom Brady and his ability to continue his reign as the NFL GOAT. Stick with us, guys. We'll be right back. Check this out with Evil Empire. All right. And that is Evil Empire. Make sure to be checking out that podcast and all the other great podcasts that are on the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island, sfbnri.com. If you guys do not catch us live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Periscope, wherever you're at, you can catch us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast. You can find the Tom Gronkowski Show. We are on episode 14. So make sure to catch all of our past episodes. Send a like, subscribe, give us some comments, give us some feedback, because we are young sports analysts still trying to make a name for ourselves. So we will take some constructive criticism. I'm going to bring Coach back in here. Coach, can you hear me? All right. All right. Bruce Arians is again in the media tearing Tom Brady apart. Calling him out by names, calling him out by plays, saying this is where he messed up. He overthrew the receiver. He misunderstood the route. He did not read the coverage correctly. Coach, what do you think is the chemistry between Bruce Arians and Tom Brady and Brian Leftwich? Do you think there's a good relationship between them? Do you think maybe Tom could maybe feel some type of way about them because of the way that they're speaking on his name? From a coaching standpoint, where do you see this relationship going?
I mean, as a coach, and I can't say that though, because I never be at the podium saying no names. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll fix it. It was a mistake, we'll just correct ourselves.
We got to come better next time. And that's something that I expect for him to say. And I want him to kind of take ownership as well, because you were the head coach. You were the ending play caller. You called the shot. So how about you take a little bit of the blame when it comes to the offense and what's going on with the Bucs? I mean, you never hear him taking any of the blame, and I think that's where he kind of falters.
Can't be. Hey, got to be a leader. Your team is all right. When you're a head coach, your team is a reflection of you. Just like if you're a positions coach. If I coach offensive line, then my offensive line should reflect me. That's why I tell them, you should be acting like me. That's what you do. That's why I coach you. You're supposed to be a reflection of me. Do stuff I'm showing you is going to reflect out there on the football field. And it's stuff that I've been teaching you. When you coach defensive line, I expect you guys to look like this and be straight dogs, period. It's just it's a reflection. So if he's sitting out there selling out, I guarantee the team is selling out. And Tom will never mostly get along with his offensive coordinators. He always be trying to tell him what to do. And that's the problem. Tom Brady think because he Tom Brady sometimes he can just do this, this, and this. Don't be like that, Tom. You want to keep everybody on your side. Don't mess up relations.
Stay humble, my friend.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the way Bruce kind of handles the media, but being a past multimedia journalist myself, we ask those tough questions when it comes to these post conferences, and the way that we word things, we kind of make it hard for them not to call people out by name, because we want those headlines. That's what we're looking for. We want the drama. So I would love to be a good job with deflecting these kind of questions and kind of making them more broader instead of calling them out by names. I don't think that's the way to go.
No.
But Coach, let's talk about the NFC playoff picture. Now, we got the Saints that are locked in for the NFC South. We got the Rams that are sitting at number 2 in the NFC West. We have the Packers at number 3 for the NFC North. And then we have the Eagles so far taking the lead for the NFC least. And then we have the Seahawks for the NFC West. And right now the Buccaneers are sitting at seed 6 for the NFC South. How is this looking with the Chiefs coming to town next week?
We have to win. We have to. I don't want to be in no 6th seed.
Right.
That means you're a wild card. I don't want to be no wild card game. No. I need to be locked in. I don't want to be a wild card. What a wild card. Oh, no. I would really prefer to either be that 1st or that 2nd seed, because then that means I get the rest. I get to chill and just watch to see who I got next.
But I mean, okay, let's think about it. With them, let's say they remain in this sixth spot. That
Okay.
means that they're going to be traveling to the NFC East to
Yeah.
face the number one seed. So right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are sitting in the number one seed. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could go on the road to face the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. Now, I think that's a better matchup. I mean, I think we have a better chance of traveling to the NFC East and getting a road win and then traveling back home. Like, I don't know. I'm not in the biggest cahoots about them being in the sixth spot. I mean, we still have a good 5 weeks left of the season, so things could
Right.
really turn around. I mean, but we'll see. The playoff picture is, it's coming up. I'm happy, but I'm sad at the same time because I'm just like, damn, the season's already more than halfway through.
No.
This last push, playoffs are around the corner, and then bam, the Super Bowl is going to be here. So
Yeah.
time is flying.
Yeah, it is.
2021 is just around the corner. Happy Thanksgiving to all the viewers out there. We appreciate you watching when you have so much going on in this busy world with Thanksgiving being tomorrow and you have your family in the town. So we appreciate you being here. Coach, let me know your thoughts of the playoff picture for the NFC right now.
I don't even. Oh my God! All right, so this is how I can go down. The Bucks must win. This is my eyes. You must win this next game. Yes, if we go against the Philadelphia Eagles, okay, I'm fine with that. That's a good matchup. We should win that. But Wentz, he's not a punk. He can pass all over us. Our defensive backs, I don't trust them. I don't want to play against the Eagles. I'd rather go against the Packers again, honestly. I don't want to go against the Eagles. And for sure don't want to see no Seahawks. No. I
could not agree with you more. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be one of the toughest teams to beat in the NFC because Green Bay Packers, we've already won. Green Bay Packers have been exposed in where they are weak. But it seems like the Seattle Seahawks have really turned things around. They went off to pick up Carlos Dunlap from the Cincinnati Bengals, who made such a great impact during that Arizona win.
Oh, yeah.
That last-minute sack on Kyler Murray to really seal a win for the Seattle Seahawks. So the narrative has been about Seattle and their defense and how haven't been stepping up the game and how Russell Wilson can't do everything on his own, and that's been proven true throughout the season. So I think the Seahawks are very dangerous with them improving their defense and them already having such an electric offense with, Kyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. I can't think of the name of their running back at the moment, but they have Russell Wilson in the range. So they're a force to be reckoned with. So I'd rather face Philadelphia than going on the road to face Seattle.
I'm telling you, because for the simple fact is, oh man, we need to be worried about other teams as well because we can't afford to lose no games. I'm just gonna say it. You got the Cardinals; they can sneak in at any. The Cardinals is a threat. You got the Rams still that's already in. I'm telling. We don't know who can get in.
And the way that Tampa's been playing, how they can't stay consistent, that's what's worrying me going into these playoffs. Because in week 11, I was saying by week 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers should have it all figured out.
They should.
I was saying by week 5, and it kind of looked like they did, but then they went on the road to face the Giants, had a tough matchup, almost lost to the Giants, and then they get spanked by the Saints, and it's just kind of like, what is going on here? Like, I thought that you guys had a formula already ready, and a lot has to do with the game plan of Bruce Arians. I mean, I don't think he's developing his players in the way that he should. But we're going to discuss that when we come back from break, and then we're also going to do X's and O's with Coach Jay, and then we're going to end episode 14. So thanks for checking with us, and check out Titan. Titletown Throwdown. Make sure to be catching that podcast every week. They are going live. Just check them out. They have a lot of great things to say. Brought to you by the Sports Fanbase Network, Rhode Island. My name is Ruth the Truth. Thank you for coming back and joining us for the Tom Gronkowski Show. We are episode 14, getting better and better with every week. So week 11 is down in the books for the NFL. We are going into week 12. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We have some great matchups going on tomorrow. We have Detroit Lions playing the Houston Texans in Texas. And we have the Washington football team and Alex Smith traveling to the Dallas Cowboys and facing Andy Dalton and Mike McCarthy in Dallas. Now, unfortunately, we had the Baltimore Ravens traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but because of COVID, there's been a lot of COVID positive tests lately that's been sparking up in the NFL, and that has postponed the Pittsburgh and Ravens game where the Ravens were traveling to Pittsburgh, who are still undefeated, 10-0. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have already beaten Baltimore once this season. So everybody was kind of anticipating for the Steelers to go 11-0 tomorrow. But now we're going to have to wait until Sunday. And hopefully everything can continue to improve instead of get worse. So we will see how things end up this weekend. But we have a lot of great matchups. Now it's time for X's and O, which Coach Jay, I hope you guys are ready for this segment that we do every week. It's for Coach to kind of depict what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to do to be successful in week 12. Because guess what? They're playing another primetime game. I apologize. Not a primetime game. It's a 4:25 game at the Raymond James Stadium against the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs are sitting at 9-1, only losing to the Las Vegas Raiders, who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers blew out in week 5. But we know that this isn't going to be an easy game. And when you're facing a reigning Super Bowl champ, nothing comes easy. So without further ado, X's and O's with Coach Jay.
Talk to them boys that sat on them benches, man. I was in the game on 4th and inches. Coach, put me in the game on 4th and inches, and I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I see them boys all behind me winless. I ain't Mario Williams, but I'm not defenseless. Wide receiver catching Hail Marys, I'm Christian. 5 and out, hot route, yeah, switch stick shift. Gone with the quickness, fast and instant. Cornerback safeties, I burn them like innocence. On the field, I'm daddy, and the ball is my infant. I don't need too much of pork, but I'm in love with the pigskin. All I really know how to do is win. Super Bowl champ, Disney World, let the kids in. Hall of Fame Wayne, I'm putting my dibs in. Catch me in the game on 4th and inches.
The Empire.
I don't talk.
Hello. Here we go. Welcome to another episode of Coach's X's and O's. All right, this is what we're going to do. It's Thanksgiving. I'm not going to hold you all this long. I know you probably still cooking if you're watching it while you're in the kitchen right now. If not, then that means you got to get the cooking because I got to do the same thing. But we're going to go over the Chiefs. The reason why that we got torched this last game was for the simple fact is we can't defend a pass. And that's bad. That's very bad because Mahomes, this guy can throw, he can throw on his opposite hand. He can throw it backwards, forwards, sideways, under the leg, behind the back. This man, he is all that. He is also a Super Bowl champ. If the defensive line does not get to this guy and hit him consistently, if they don't hit him consistently, then it's going to be all she wrote. Because since I don't trust the defensive backs, Todd Bowles, if I'm you, I don't trust the defensive backs. That means up front, plus linebackers, I got to make sure that we get in the backfield. I need him to go. I need you to get there. I need to start running some tricks on here. Boom. Let him. You can zone blitz it. Boom. I need some tricks. I need some movement. We got to start doing something because this right here is getting us killed these guys. Not to mention tackling these guys up front. You got to save us. You must save us. They're going to be doing all this tricky stuff. They're going to have a guy come in motion. Then they're going to say set hut. He's going to do either the buck sweep. If he does the buck sweep, sometimes they'll pull both guards around. Sometimes I've seen them pull a center before and have him come around, but it's coming right here. Now, that does not mean that it is a legit buck sweep. They run RPOs, okay? And Andy Reid is he's no fool. He's going to make you be on your toes the entire time. This guy right here at H now, he going to stop. Then he probably going to come back here, do like a little bubble. And then, or Mahomes is just going to take off, boom. And the man, like I said, these receivers, especially Hill, you must stop Hill. If Hill, he can run. If Hill gets going, it's going to be pretty hard to stop him because honestly, and I'm just being honest, I don't think any of those Bucs players, those defensive backs are faster than him at all. This man runs like a cheetah. I mean, he can go. So Todd Bowles, I say to you, you need to start having some fun. You're going to have to start trusting somebody. I need some twists coming in, sending some blitzes in. We got to do all this. You got to get back there. And you got to stop the run. We didn't stop the run this week. You got to stop the run. That's with any game in any level of football. You stop the run. Stop the run. Do not let these backs get going. Make them have to pass on you. But defensive backs going to have to show up. Because if you let the team run on you, they're going to just control the game and the pace all day. Now, offensive-wise, all you got to do, this is what we just need to do on offense. Control the game. Go back to doing what we do great. Players just got to step up. That's all you got to do. You just got to step up. Tom, stop making mistakes that you know you don't normally make. Because if Tom think that defense that he faced last week was something, he ain't seen nothing yet. Because this defense right here moves around. And they move around so well. They have fun. If he think that he has some pressure going, he is in for a treat. But he can do this if he slow this rush down. If he can slow these guys down, which run the ball. We must be able to run the ball. We couldn't run the ball last game because we couldn't block Donald. Which I said you can't block the nose. If you don't block the nose tackle or the 3-tech, then you're going to have a hard time. Well, with Donald can play all 4 positions. But still, offensive line, I'm challenging y'all this week. You must step up. You must step up. You're going to have to run the ball. So that means we got to run some zone. Go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. We'll go here, boom. He going to take him, boom. He's going right here, cut off man. Okay, that's all right. We know Tom is not an option guy, so we most likely going to give it. But we can run plays off of this. We can go fake here, boom. He can go quick slant. He can hit a bubble right there. Come on, somebody going to be open. Somebody's going to be open. Just take your time. We don't have to do – everything doesn't have to be long. You can send one guy to be long just as a decoy. So I can make him go long for just no reason. But he going to clear everybody out for me, and then my guy's going to slip right there. Boom. Just normal stuff. Just simple stuff. But we'll hit a couple drags in here. We'll let him come out. Boom, boom, boom. He'll go. We'll have him. He'll do a drag across. Then we got this guy coming right over the top on him. He still can hit the bubble. It's simple. We can even trick him. Just make him go straight. He gonna at least make some room for this guy right here to have some space. And if he don't, and this guy right here stays, then we got some space right in this little vicinity right here that we can get. So this is what I say to you this week. Ty Bowes, you're going to have to move around, throw different looks, and you got to get in the backfield. You must stop the run. Defense, you must stop the run. Defensive backs, tackling. God, you got to stop the pass. But defensive line, y'all got to hurry up and get there. Like I tell teams that I'm on, if I don't trust the defensive backs on the teams that I'm coaching, I tell them, hey, y'all, defensive line, get there quicker. because we don't know what's going to happen if it gets back there. So get there quick. As far as offense, control the game. Just control the game. Everybody just needs to relax. There's no need to panic. But you do need to win these games, though. No need to panic, but you need to win those games. Just take your time. Just take it one game at a time. We just focus on being 1-0. Just 1-0. Control the game. Keep Tom from getting hit. Tom, man, come on, man. Show me the guy that you are. Don't make simple mistakes. And that's all I got for y'all, X's and O's. Happy Thanksgiving again to y'all.
Thanks, Coach. That was great insight on a good game plan, and I hope that they are listening out there. Protect Tom Brady. Now we're going against a really good Kansas City Chiefs team. We're 9-1.
Yeah.
They're not looking to get another loss. I mean, they almost did against the Raiders again on Sunday Night Football, but they were able to pull through with a last-second touchdown with Travis Kelce empty in the red zone. So the defense definitely is going to be put to the test against this Kansas City Chiefs team. And thankfully, it's a 4:25 game, so the daylight will still be out.
Yeah.
Perfect weather for Tom Brady. And him and Rob Gronkowski need to show up.
Got to.
Coach, do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up episode 14 of the Tom Gronkowski Show?
They're going to have to be ready for that. They're going to have to be ready for the empty backfield as well. They'll just have all receivers out at one time.
Right.
Or they'll have a tailback back there that can be a receiver, and they'll motion him out as well and let him be a receiver now because you ain't already set the defense to a certain look that you had. They will do that. And sometimes the guy's probably not going to pass. He'll just take off if it's designed for him to. They're going to have to know how to tackle. They're going to have to be able to cover the pass, and they must stop the run. Period.
Yeah. Very important. Yeah. Tampa Bay defense, we're expecting them to show out against the Kansas City Chiefs because they are coming to the Raymond James Stadium and they're the Super Bowl contenders. So Patrick Mahomes is on record talking about Tom Brady and saying that he is not as much of a global star as he sees Tom Brady because, I mean, Tom Brady won 6 championships.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes so far only has 1. So he does not hold himself to the same pedestal as Tom Brady, but everybody knows that he is on his way. Coach, thank you so much for joining me for episode 14. That is all for me. Thank you for everyone out there that's watching on the Sports Fan Base Network Rhode Island on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're at. We appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the show and check us out on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for coming in. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving. Wash your face. DK, wash your face. Wash your hands, social distance, and keep it safe. You guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Wash your face.
Have a great night, everybody.
Hey.